right, so this is a value question. We're asked, what is the slope of L? We need to nail it down to one slope. And we're told that in statement 2, both intercepts are positive. That is a clearly insufficient piece of information because it tells me nothing about where those intercepts are. So I would not be able to calculate any sort of slope from that whatsoever. Now the question is, why did they give us that information? Does it complement statement 1? Or is it a distraction, or is it unnecessary? So let's see if it complements statement 1 or if statement 1 even needs this information. Statement 1 says the x-intercept is 2 times the y-intercept. Well, that means if the y-intercept is 1, then the x-intercept is 2, and we would have a line that looks like this, right? And if the y-intercept was 2, the x-intercept would be 4. And that means we have a line that looks like this. And you notice that these visually look like parallel lines, and that's because they are. So the slope of a line is basically defined as rise over run. And rise over run is the change in y over the change in x. And it doesn't matter which y or which x you put first, as long as you use the same pair to the left and to the right. And so I'll show you what I mean by that. So this point here we said would be 0 for x, 2 for y, and then this point would be 4 for y, 4 for x, and 0 for y. And the change in y would be 2 minus 0. And we're using this point as the left-hand side of this formula, which means the change in x is going to be 0 minus 4. And that's going to give us a slope of 2 over negative 4, which is equal to negative 1/2. So the slope is negative 1/2 here. If we look at this one, it goes from 0, 1 to 2, 0. And that is again going to give us a change in the y's of 1 minus 0, which is 1, and 0 minus 2, which is negative 2, which gives us negative 1/2. So we've gotten slopes of negative 1/2 while mixing around the points. Now, does it matter if they're positive or not? So let's try negative numbers. Well, if y is negative 1, then x would be negative 2. And what we notice is that this line is still sloping up to the left and down to the right, which means it is a negative sloping line. And if we calculate this, we'll find out that again, the slope is negative 1/2. So we actually don't need statement 2. It's an extra piece of info that we don't require. If statement A is sufficient on its own, then we want to go, if statement 1 is sufficient on its own, then we would prefer an answer choice of A to an answer choice of C. C is only an answer choice that you select if you can't get there with A or B. So our answer here is answer choice A. Statement 1 alone is sufficient, and statement 2 alone is not sufficient.